Have you heard about minimalist living, but aren't sure what it means and what benefit it could offer you? You aren't alone. The concept of minimalist living isn't a new one, but it's an idea that has recently gained more momentum as increasing numbers of people recognize how much better their lives can be when they switch to a minimalist lifestyle. The modern world is a frantic and hectic place. The pace of life these days never seems to slow down. Many of us feel as if we are bombarded on all sides with urgent demands and pressures that are hard to resist. More is the buzzword of the moment. The more we have of everything, the more satisfied we're supposed to be. More possessions should equate to more happiness. At least that's what we're conditioned to believe. But is it true? Those who have adopted the minimalist lifestyle would disagree with the above opinion. They say that by adopting a simpler approach to every aspect of life, from relationships to the workplace, it becomes possible to narrow down your focus and to concentrate on what really matters. As a result, you can enjoy more happiness, more satisfaction, and even more success in all areas without all the physical, mental, and emotional clutter that seems to build up over time. Here, we take a closer look at what changing to a minimalist way of living could mean to you and how it could help you to enjoy greater peace of mind. With this how-to guide to switching to a minimalist lifestyle, you have all the tools you need at your disposal to make an informed decision about whether you could benefit from making the change. Learn all you need to know about what a modern minimalistic lifestyle looks like, and find out more about how you can adopt the principles of this exciting and revolutionary lifestyle concept into your everyday life. You're sure to be impressed by the many benefits that you can derive when you make just a few simple changes. In this video, we'll discuss about what is minimalist living. The first question that you need to be answered if you're considering making the change to a minimalist lifestyle is what exactly one is. So, what is minimalism and how does it look in practice? What does minimalist living look like? Before we answer this question, let's just reiterate the fact that minimalist living is nothing new. It's something that has been around for a very long time. Monks and nuns from centuries ago chose to live with only the absolute essentials in their lives, so that they could focus on their faith and become closer to a supreme power. They found that by eschewing everyday luxuries, they could develop a greater understanding of themselves and their beliefs. Yet these days, things are very different. Very few people are living this kind of basic and simple lifestyle. Most of us have fallen into a trap of wanting more than just the basics. We have fallen prey to the media and marketeers' message that the secret to a happy life is to own more by having more of everything. More money, more success, more possessions, and more technology. Yet, those of us who seek to accrue an endless stream of possessions usually come to learn over time that the promise of happiness that advertisers dangle in front of us couldn't be more false. The real secret to finding happiness and peace is to think in terms of subtraction rather than addition. Less is more when it comes to finding satisfaction in life and peace of mind. Essentially, at its core, minimalism is all about living with less. While that can be taken literally as having fewer possessions, it has more far-reaching implications for the way that you live your life. The concept behind minimalist living is learning to identify the things which are important, and then focusing down on those things while eradicating everything else which is deemed to be unimportant from your life. The misunderstandings about minimalist living. As you might imagine, there is a lot of misunderstandings about what minimalist living really means. Many people think that it means you can't own a home or have a car. Others think that you're restricted to only having as many possessions as you can fit into a small backpack or bag. None of this is true. In fact, minimalist could be best described as intentionally promoting anything that you most value while removing anything which brings no value into your life. It is a concept that resonates differently with every individual. While for some, that may mean a great degree of elimination. For others, it may be much less extreme, but no less beneficial. The principle of minimalist living is to remove anything which can be considered as clutter from your everyday existence. This clutter may be physical, in the form of possessions that you simply don't require, or it may be emotional or mental, for example, in the form of toxic relationships that are causing you unhappiness or stressful situations in which you find yourself. It means that you adjust your mindset and, in doing so, learn how you can live your life not only with greater purpose, but also with greater peace. What is a life of intentionality? When you opt for a minimalist lifestyle, you're opting for a life of intentionality. What does this mean? It means that you're intentionally making time, space, and room for all the things which you love and value, while simultaneously eliminating all that could distract you from really enjoying and appreciating those things to the max. You're opting for a lifestyle in which you intentionally choose which possessions you should own and what you're going to do with them for yourself without relying on convention or pressure from external forces. You're also choosing how that will impact on your way of thinking and living, and how it will change your perspective on your own life. It may seem like an unusual concept. After all, we're more used to following the herd and accepting what everyone else does as the norm. However, if you take this way of living on board, you'll be surprised at the benefits you can reap. Minimalism brings with it a host of benefits which are well known to those who practice this way of living. Those who extol its virtues say that minimalist living is an effective tool to help you to find freedom from worry, fear, guilt, and depression. With around a quarter of us suffering from mental health issues at any one time, it's no wonder that so many people are now questioning whether minimalist living could be the right way to go. So, could you benefit from making these changes in your life? Here, you can learn more about how switching to a more minimalistic approach to everyday life can help you to enjoy greater freedom, to improve your relationships, to become more successful in your professional life, and, most importantly, to experience greater satisfaction and happiness across all areas of your life daily. In this video, we'll discuss about what kind of freedom can minimalist living bring. When you adopt a minimalist lifestyle, one of the greatest benefits that you will experience is a strong sense of freedom. While this freedom stems from losing the drive to possess more things, it has significantly far-reaching implications that spread through all aspects of your everyday life. This freedom comes in many forms, some of which will be quite unexpected, but no less welcomed. Fewer possessions. Firstly, minimalism means that you'll own fewer possessions. This, in turn, frees you from the drive to accrue more of them over time. When you live intentionally with just the things you most need, by getting rid of the distractions that excess possessions can bring, you can put more of your focus onto the things in your life that matter most. Once you're free from the passion to own more, you'll be surprised by the pleasure that this can bring you. You'll be stepping off the consumerism treadmill and looking for the source of your happiness elsewhere. Where will you find that happiness? The answer will vary depending on your own life and circumstances. However, you'll almost certainly find the joy that you're seeking in your relationships, your experiences, and your self-care. When you learn to value what you've already got, you'll also be reminded to be more grateful for the things you have. And in that gratitude, you'll find that your life is infinitely more abundant than it was, even when you could have a house full of possessions. Freedom from frantic modern life. Another freedom that minimalism brings you is a release from the mania of modern living. The world today is running at a breakneck pace. We're all rushed, stressed, and hurried. We feel obliged to work long hours so we can pay our bills, and we fall into debt as we try to keep up with the neighbors. We also find that we're endlessly rushing between activities, multitasking instead of appreciating the experiences we're living through, while still struggling to accomplish anything worthwhile. Although we've all got cell phones which keep us permanently connected to those at home, at work, and elsewhere, We often still struggle to maintain positive and meaningful relationships in real life. When we embrace minimalist living, life can finally slow down. You can finally free yourself from the frenetic pace of modern life. You can disengage from all the pressures that we face today in the 21st century. It's only then that you can come to realize just how stressed you've been and how strained your relationships have become. With the new freedom that you've found, you can rectify that and start to rebuild a more positive living environment. Freedom from duplicity. Embracing the minimalist way of life means you no longer must live the duplicitous life. Whether or not you realize it, you're almost certainly portraying yourself in a different way to different people in your life. The way you act in front of your family is sure to be completely different from the way you behave at work or while you're around your neighbors. Yet, having to play up to an expected image can be hard work, and over time, the strain builds up. When you're living a minimalist life, everything becomes simpler. You can be more unified in your approach to those around you. With consistency, reliability, and dependability as part of your life each day, you'll have more transparency and honesty than you ever thought possible. No longer will you be tricked into chasing glamour, fame, and success. You'll learn to chase things that are much more meaningful, such as a strong relationship, peace, and positivity. When you adopt minimalist living, you'll find that you consume less and slow down, yet you'll enjoy your life much more. In this video, we'll talk about the benefits of minimalist living. So now you know what minimalist living entails in practice, but what exactly are the advantages of adopting this way of life? Why should you consider leaving behind all the things that the modern world values so much and adopt a simpler way of life instead? This is something that most people ask when faced with the idea of switching to a minimalist lifestyle. So, what are the advantages that you could expect to experience if you take the step of altering how you view possessions and clutter? Recognize that less is more. It can be hard to see the wood for the trees if you're living a standard 21st century lifestyle. More than ever before, society today is subjected to marketing pressure and the media's ongoing message about what modern life should look like. You're constantly told that the key to happiness is to own more, to do more, and to have more. After all, you only need to look at how celebrities are living their everyday lives to see what you can expect to achieve if you push yourself to the limit and accumulate as much as possible. If everyone around you is living in the same way, pursuing more money and more possessions, it's almost impossible to imagine what life would be like without those things. That's why it's important to become aware of the benefits that minimalist living can provide. It can seem almost impossible that giving up those coveted possessions could give you greater satisfaction and happiness than owning them could bring. However, when you put the principles of the minimalist lifestyle into practice, you'll be surprised to discover that it's true. Why choose the minimalist life? When you choose the minimalist way of life, you'll experience the following advantages. You'll feel happier. Rather than feeling as if you must acquire more and more, minimalism helps you to derive true enjoyment from the things which you already own without feeling the need to spend money which you don't have to acquire items that you don't need. Instead, you can focus on your existing possessions which bring you joy. You'll have peace of mind. With fewer things to worry about in your life, your mind will be clearer. You'll be less subject to stress and anxiety, and you'll have the freedom to focus on the things which are most important. You won't fear failure. When you own less and have a minimalist lifestyle, you'll have much less to lose if you fail in an activity or enterprise. This gives you the freedom to try things that you would have avoided before the fear of losing everything. You can enjoy experimenting with new things and never be held back by concerns about losing everything. This can allow you to go from strength to strength and on to newer and greater successes. You'll enjoy better health. The minimalist lifestyle is virtually stress-free. That means you'll worry less and enjoy much better mental and physical health overall. Since stress is well known to be associated with all kinds of physical and mental medical complaints, you can have a longer and healthier lifestyle with less need for medications. You'll have more space. Since adopting minimalism requires you to get rid of anything which isn't essential to your life, you'll have a lot more space. This applies both physically and mentally. Your home will have more available room due to fewer possessions. Meanwhile, your mind, too, will be less cluttered, so you'll have a stronger focus on the things which really matter. Since a cluttered home leads to a cluttered mind, and a cluttered mind leads to stress, anxiety, and depression, it's no surprise that simply adopting a minimalistic approach to life can bring you greater happiness. You'll have more money. Without the need to constantly buy more things and maintain an expensive lifestyle, you'll have more spare money. Not only will this help you feel less stressed, it'll also mean you can save more and invest in the things which are most important. Having more money in the bank gives you greater freedom to enjoy your time, too. For example, you'll be able to save up for a dream vacation that will improve your well-being even more. You'll have more time. When you minimize your time compliments to only those things which you truly care about, you'll have even more spare time to enjoy yourself and to focus on the things which are most important to you. This will give you the freedom to use the extra time to boost your well-being and happiness. You can focus on yourself and how to live your best life. You can also spend more time with the people who are most important to you, your friends and loved ones, and build up the strong network of close relationships that are so important to your overall well-being. You'll have a greater sense of purpose. When you adopt minimalist living, you're intentionally opting to live with fewer possessions. That means you'll have greater direction and focus in your life. You'll be able to channel that focus in the direction that best suits you, your needs and your preferences, rather than in the direction that others tell you to focus it in. You'll have more confidence. When you adopt minimalism in all areas of your life, you'll automatically get rid of everything which doesn't align with your new lifestyle. That means you can be your own true self, rather than having to live a duplicitous life and think about how you appear to other people in order to conform. Instead of having to adapt your behavior and demeanor to suit the company that you're in, you can continue to behave as you usually would without ever having to worry about disappointing anyone or letting your guard down. When you can really be yourself in every situation, you'll develop greater self-confidence that will help you to feel mentally stronger and happier. You'll enjoy better relationships. Spending less time on the things which don't matter means that you'll have freed up time that can be better spent with those who are the most important in your life. Your family and friends can enjoy more of your company, and you can enjoy more of theirs. In turn, this will strengthen all of your most valuable relationships, whether with your parents, your children, your partner, or your friends. Those strong relationships will be there as your security blanket whenever you need help. Remember that no possessions could ever take over that supportive role. You'll have happier memories. When you live a minimalist life, you'll be storing up a lifetime of wonderful memories. When you aren't focusing all your time and resources on acquiring more possessions and working yourself to death, you can concentrate on having experiences that not only make you happy at the time, but for many years in the future when you recall those special moments. Those memories will last much longer than any possession could. You'll have a low-maintenance home. With fewer possessions in your house or apartment, you'll need to spend less time cleaning and tidying. Clutter in the home leads to clutter in the mind, so having a clutter-free property means that you can enjoy greater peace of mind overall. You'll also benefit from having more spare time since you won't need to spend as much time on domestic chores. This gives you the opportunity to pursue the activities that truly make you feel happy and to focus on the important relationships in your life that you wish to strengthen and deepen. You'll be more productive. When you minimize the task that you take on board, you have more time to dedicate to the work that you agree to do. With fewer commitments and priorities, You'll have more time and resources to ensure that the projects you take on are completed quickly and to the highest standard. This keeps your productivity level high and enables you to feel more confident in your abilities rather than overwhelmed by the endless array of tasks that need to be finished. You'll be helping the planet. These days, we're all trying to be greener, and eco-friendliness is the order of the day. The minimalist lifestyle is in perfect alignment with this philosophy. By reusing and recycling items and avoiding making unnecessary purchases, you'll be doing your bit for sustainability and helping to protect the environment from harm.